Daily News, the right edition. Welcome, Mississauga Member of Parliament, Albina. I hope I pronounced your names right. I destroy people's names typically, but it's Albina. I would destroy this Girani. In any event, she's a Liberal MP, imagine that. And she says the time has come with regard to charities to make disclosure and make a law in addition to disclosure with regard to how much money the people that run these various agencies actually earn. You know, she says that she's had numerous constituents express or pass along concerns to her with regard to this again. And you know, if you sacrifice and who chooses to sacrifice their time and all of those things, and you're sacrificing your money, sacrifice, she uses that word a lot. I don't know that I get that connection. But in any event, you deserve to know how much people make. And, you know, I think she's typical socialist, left-wing, liberal type again. She's reaching out to where she shouldn't be reaching because people need to check with the charities. If they have a concern, why are you phoning your member of parliament? Go online. It tells you very clearly. I mean, for instance, the people that work, or so many of the people that work at the United Way and World Vision, their leaders make far less than what this MP makes. And this MP is saying, hey, I think it's being abused. I don't think it's being abused. If you have access to, and you do have access now to salaries of corporate heads to whom you've entrusted your money, so clearly you should have access to that as well with regards to your charities, and it is available. Again, it's the old story. Don't legislate, educate. You have another socialist person here, left-winger, who says let's create more rules and more laws, and oh, by the way, we'll have to put a whole bunch of people in there to make that happen. If anybody wants to get rid of a big salary, she should quit. Her salary can't be justified. All Liberals, I think, and NDP people should be on a commission, you know. They shouldn't get paid, because they also get paid per meeting. Kind of not a very good system. We'll get into that some other day. All right, the Roman Catholic Church. This one takes hours and hours, or could, days maybe, to talk about. But they have another big thing going on now with regard to, you know, child molestation and things. I mean, it's just a disgusting topic, and but it's in the news, and now they're finally getting to the top here. They're talking about the Pope, and they're saying what I've always said, I've been saying for many, many years. The Pope, all the clergymen, if they didn't do it themselves, they knew it was being done. And if they didn't do anything about it, then they're just as guilty as the guys who did it. There's 1.2 billion Catholics in the world. That's a huge number. I mean, probably half of that number considers themselves practicing Catholics. But in any event, it's a shameful, disgusting, and it's extremely outrageous situation and within the Catholic Church. I've always said maybe a little too, I don't know, colorful, too badly. I used to say, put them all in the Vatican and then nuke it. Okay, I'm over the top a little bit. I get it. But you know what? It's a terrible thing when you take away the innocence of a child. And the Pope and all of these guys, I mean, again, if they didn't do it, they knew what was going on. And I wish governments would step up and get more involved. They seem to be frightened of the Catholic Church. I don't understand that. I mean, come on, they're children. Get in there. The children that are being abused, get in there and make something happen. Put all those people away. Give them lie detector tests. Do something. There's an educated way to get all the perverts off the street, isn't there? I mean, these are people that work for us, the politicians. Tories now, and that would be the good guys, I guess. The government party lines are somewhat crossing over here these days, but the Conservatives and the newspapers refer to them as Tories. Or they should call them Conservatives. In any event, they've now recovered fees paid to a lobbying firm chaired by a former Liberal minister. This is about $350,000. So they're on a bit of a witch hunt. It's about time. I mean, it'll probably cost more than that to get it. It's been going on for a number of years. This fellow used to be in charge of the Canadian Mint as well, and he messed that up. He's messed up a lot of things, and he cost us tons and tons of money. David Dingwall was his name. He's a left-wing guy, former lawyer, I think. And, you know, finally they're getting some money back from him, and there's a long list. Go get it. That's good news. I like that. Saskatchewan now, they're talking about introducing the HST. Why not every other commie place is doing it? I mean, HST, BST, pick a name. They shouldn't be talking like that. They say it's up to the people, or we'll speak to the people. That would be a first. Nobody's spoken much to the people that I'm aware of at any event. Let me end today with a little story. The old story, or the old show on TV, Cheers, from a number of years ago. Cliff and Norm. Cliff and Norm. You know what? They make more sense than a lot of our politicians. They have vision and they have depth. So let me share some of that with you. Well, you see, Norm, it's like this. A herd of buffalo can only move as fast as the slowest buffalo. When the herd is hunted, it is the slowest and weakest ones at the back that are killed first. This natural selection is good for the herd as a whole because the general speed and health of the whole group keeps improving by the regular killing of the weakest members. A lot of deep stuff happening at a bar table, huh? In much the same way, he goes on to say, the human brain can only operate as fast as the slowest brain cells. Now, as we know, excessive intake of alcohol kills brain cells, but naturally it attacks the slowest and weakest brain cells first, kind of like the buffalo. In this case, regular consumption of beer eliminates the weaker brain cells, making the brain a faster and more efficient machine. And that, Norm, is why you always feel smarter after a few beers. Hey, come back tomorrow for more smart stuff from The Right Edition. And hang around now because we have some news coming to you from The Right Business. Right Business, welcome. iPhones, turning iPhones into babblefish. I'm not too sure what that means. Babblefish, well, of course I am because I've read the whole story. Google plans now to develop true speech-to-speech translation apps by 2012. And this is pretty cool stuff. So now you take your iPhone, you go over to France and you say, I want to have a bagel. Who can say that in French? Not anyone I know, at least. Now you're talking to your iPhone, I want a bagel, press a button, and it comes out the other end in French, and the guy brings you a bagel. Pretty smart stuff, and Google is really making some fast strides to that end. Good for them. Compensating employees. Well, let me back up a little bit. How can we make money from that? How can you? I don't know that answer. That's technology. That's where they're going with it. Is there some little piece of that that you can benefit from? There's always a benefit in what other people do if you watch closely, and I haven't taken it that far, that deep. So you do that, okay? Compensating employees. The wrong way to reward your team for a job well done. How do you pay people? Somebody does a good job. You know, you go up and you give them money, and a lot of bad things start to happen with money. This is proven. I know it sounds pretty strange, but it happens all of the time. So what they say now, they being the Profit Magazine and so many specialists in marketing and human resources and fields within the business kind of sector, call it, and what they say is don't give them cash. They're talking about employees, obviously. Or prepare for a course of, hey, no fair, no fair. How come he got that and I didn't? Something along those lines. A new study now suggests that when it comes to distributing performance rewards in equal portions, perceptions of the fairness of the rewards vary according to the type of rewards given. If the reward has value such as a vacation day or a bottle of wine, then people are more likely to see equal distribution of such items as fair reward for their individual contribution. You know, if some form of currency is reward, say cash, for instance, then people expect to be rewarded according to their specific contribution. And everyone has a different concept about what that is. I've seen it happen in my own world so many times. When people complain, when they get $50, they complain. I mean, I want more. But if they get a $50 bottle of wine, they're happy. Give them wine. Maybe they had too much in the first place. Because receiving currency, that would be money, cues the norms of the marketplace and puts it in a financial domain rather than a social domain. Again, you've got to kind of extrapolate and work from that, but that's kind of the story from the educated people. I think it comes down, for the most part, to individualism, but just some information for you there from the educated people. Who knew? Come back tomorrow. We'll have more for you in Right Business. See ya.